about that? We're going to bring out Chris again, and also his wife and producing partner, Emma Thomas. How's it going? It looks fantastic. You know, it's really interesting to see the way architecture fits into this film. It seems like there's a lot of symbols and structures in there. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Is that part of the...
Well, I've always been interested in architecture, and I've always been interested in the relationship of films to architecture. So, really what the film deals with is the world of dreams, and a set of people who can construct a dream. And so, to me, the figure of the architect, that seemed like the mind that should be behind that type of creation. So the film really tries to fuse a lot of different things that I've been interested in for quite a long time.
That's great. And Emma, you have this fantastic cast. I mean, it starts right at the top with Leo. Tell us a little bit about him and maybe some of the other folks in the movie.
Well, this is kind of a dream cast for us because obviously there's Leo, who we've been trying to work with for a really long time, but never quite found the right thing. So that was great. And Michael Caine, who we have worked with before, Tanabe, Cillian Murphy, and then there was some really great talents that we've never worked with before, and we're lucky enough to sort of get in one place for this, like Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's just brilliant. Ellen Page, and Tom Hardy, who's a really amazing actor. It was a dream come true.
You know, it was great. I got a chance to go on the set and see you guys there, and it's fascinating the movies that you make. There's such a priority put on practical effects, and I know that it's a signature for you as far as the sort of the tactile feel of the universe that you create. Could you talk a little bit about that, and then maybe some of the particular innovations you guys had to do with some of the sets on this one?
Well, I've always been interested in trying to achieve as many of the effects in camera as possible. I feel that the audience's relationship with the material on screen is greatly enhanced if the material has a tactile quality, if it's something that you can invest in and believe in. I think that really comes in a large part from the era in which I grew up, when the big movies of the 70s were being made. They didn't have access to computer graphics and so forth, and so things had to be done either through extraordinary stunt work or building extraordinary sets, or through enhancement using miniatures and the optical effects of the time. So I have a great fondness really for the large-scale films that really try to create a world that you can get lost in a very credible manner. So I've tried to preserve that as a working methodology, and then we use newer technologies where they're appropriate. Certainly in the piece we've just shown, some extremely sophisticated sort of computer effects, but we try and have everything based on something we've shot in camera, including the last shot of the trailer that's based on a helicopter shot that we actually shot out in Morocco.
Yeah. And then, tell us a little bit about some of the sets. I mean, you guys had some pretty fantastic stuff. I know Joseph had a particularly grueling...
Yeah, Joe had a tough time with it. We had to teach him how to do all kinds of things on sets that would change their attitude. They would rotate, they would tilt, they would do all kinds of interesting things. I grew up being a huge fan of Stanley Kubrick's 2001, and I was always extremely fascinated by the idea of having a set that could move in a particular way so as to distort the appearance of gravity or the function of gravity within an environment. That's very much part of the story we're telling at the key moments. So Joe thankfully was on board with learning how to do this. It's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah, pretty athletic performance.
Very much.
Yeah. So Emma, I mean, you guys had a great success with Dark Knight. Anybody like the movie? Billion-dollar movie and universally acclaimed. And you could have gone and made a smaller film after that. It seemed like you guys actually tried to do something even bigger. I mean, did you film in how many countries on this?